et je fuyais toujours. Je descendais une pente interminable. Je me laissais glisser dans un étroit canal. Ce fut un moment, peut-être le moment le plus émouvant et le plus inattendu de toute ma vie. Le seul, je crois, que je serais trop heureux de revivre s'il m'était possible de revenir en arrière. Je débouchais dans un brusque éclatement de lumière. Je ne savais absolument pas où je me trouvais. Des espaces qui semblaient infinis continuaient de s'étendre sous la lumière artificielle. Les quadrillages métalliques formaient des galeries profondes, comme les veines d'un corps gigantesque. La régularité avec laquelle les machines agissaient manifestait une vitalité singulière. Partout, je distinguais les germes d'une nouvelle forme de vie. Des paquets de toutes formes circulaient dans leurs entrailles, portés par des chariots, des tapis roulants, des bras articulés. Les mêmes organes se retrouvaient sur une multitude de machines. Comme l'homme et de nombreux animaux partagent le fait d'avoir des yeux ou des oreilles, un cœur. J'étais perdu, recrue de fatigue. J'essayais de rassembler mes esprits. Je me disais, ces images existent, ce n'est pas le futur. C'est un rêve d'ingénieur dans lequel les machines évoluent librement. je reconnus Erewhon. J'y étais entré presque par hasard.
Hello, hi, I'm Gwenola Wagon.
Hi, I'm Stéphane Degoutin.
We are visual artists and we have directed several films such as Our Brain, Erewhon, etc. We consider ourselves as landscape painters, except that instead of canvas and paint, we work with video footages and images found on the internet that we patiently collect and rearrange in films.
During this short lecture, we will explore the ecosystem systems set up by internet platforms such as Google, Facebook, Amazon, Uber, Baidu, Tencent, etc. These platforms rely on an extractivist logic, devoid of any moral values. For them, the environment is only a resource to be consumed, and the toxic waste they produce is just an externality that can be exported to emerging countries. They tend to form totalizing structures. Their monopolistic practices far surpasses those of the corporate trusts of the late 19th, early 20th century. We will present the massive logistics hidden behind the illusion of the virtual economy.
We start the journey with the path explored in our movie World Brain, which describes the spaces where data live. The internet is very material. It is based on Promethean and energy-intensive infrastructures, transcontinental submarine fiber optic cables that cost billions to lay on the ocean floor.
On Earth, fiber optic cables cross continents and require gigantic roadworks.
And countless cell phone relay antennas.
Thousands of server farms spread across the planet, demanding huge amounts of electricity. These data centers allow to accumulate massive amounts of big data.
And huge delivery warehouses.
Armies of human workers.
And robots.
Extraordinary quantities of packing cartons.
Armies of delivery men in trucks, scooters, or bicycles. Armies of drivers.
Platforms such as Amazon reduce the waiting time for the consumer. They promise to instantly respond to the desire to consume. Traces of locomotion disappear, to simulate that the product is already arrived as soon as it is ordered.
The pleasure of unpacking implies a huge waste of cardboard.
The delivery system relies on the permanent reduction in deadlines and prices. At the end of the line, it puts a constant pressure on the workers. Accidents are multiplying.
Meanwhile, in suburbia,
home is where Alexa lives. Amazon, Google, and Apple are trying to become the operating system of your home. An ideal home where everything would be automatic.
With Amazon dash buttons, lets you order automatically.
Amazon Key lets the delivery person open your door in your absence.
And Amazon Ring watches the entrance.
Everything is accessible in one click, from your phone,
or from your computer, or by voice command. Google, Amazon, Facebook, Netflix, Airbnb, Tesla and Uber, Baidu, Alibaba and Tencent, the companies of GAFAM, Natu or Pratiques, are building a world according to the utopia that all information, everything, and everyone is accessible in one click. We could call this the one-click world. These companies apply the logic of instant accessibility to the material world. To pursue this goal, they will not hesitate to spend crazy amounts of money. Amazon invests billions of dollars every year just in logistics in order to deliver items as fast as possible. The goal is that everyone is surrounded by a huge cloud from which would magically fall information, products, drivers, meals, etc.
Including masturbation.
In Romania, Studio 20 creates pseudo-rooms, which give home to thousands of camgirls and camboys. It's like a parallel world, mirroring the rooms of suburban houses.
Also accessible in one click are love or sex via Tinder or similar apps. The same type of interface gives access to houses, sofas, books, refrigerators, clothes. All the components of the world are made visible through a grid interface that smoothes them out and makes them similar, offering a grid-like appearance of reality. These interfaces imply a sharp competitiveness between the products on display.
One can also buy future babies in one click. With this online sperm bank interfaces, we can understand Internet as an information machine to create more life. From the algorithm point of view, the objects transit from box to box, stock racks, delivery cars, refrigerators, human stomach. Products are made easy to buy as well as to digest, as simply as popcorn, chips, fries, ice creams, burgers, sodas, absolutely everything.
The shopping frenzy takes on the appearance of a bulimic pathology. This bulimia is material as well as informational. It requires empty space to fill, vomit and dump. Bulimia is the perfect metaphor that underlies platforms such as Amazon.
These are the top-selling items on Amazon. We are effectively in a trash society. It generates a proliferation of objects, most of which are toxic and useless. They quickly become obsolete because they are badly made and not very solid in the long run. They are made of materials whose extraction is destructive, and some products are sent back without being recycled. Incinerated in open dumps, they will pollute the soil for millennia.
Incentives to overconsumption are combined with the hyper-destruction of products. Disposable has become the norm. This poses a serious problem for those who do not know how to throw away. But we are all condemned to end up submerged in a world of excesses of all kinds, overproduction of industrial and cultural goods, of social relationships, of work, of media that permanently monopolize our attention and leaves us lost in an excess of choice. Excess and overflow define our time.
Since nothing is provided for recycling, repairing, or managing their accumulation, these objects become useless.
This system can be called a poison system. A poison system is reinforced by other poison systems. The logic of large hypermarkets, for instance, accentuates the importance of individual vehicles and thus urban sprawl.
Data centers and fulfillment centers create a system of permanent accessibility to everything. Just-in-time systems aim to constantly increase their efficiency by eliminating the smallest latency and timing and trimming all margins of error.
Envision that the future would depend on storage sheds. Yet, it is in the Amazon fulfillment centers, in Google's server farms, in intensive breeding, in short, in the logistical infrastructure, in the concrete organization of hyper-consumerism, that humanity is sinking into the most extravagant and futuristic systems. In a sense, we are experiencing the greatest shortcut of all time. Thank you.
Thank you.